Gold Star Promotions is proud to present Floyd Money Mayweather. The man himself is coming to the UK for his UK tour, February and March 2020. For all info and tickets, Gold Star Promotions, the host of UK.
Title actually last held, I think, by Sonny's brother Charlie, correct?
Yeah.
Is it? All right, okay. Sitting, I've got you, somewhere behind Ron Lewis, not instantly visible. Sorry, Ron. So it's Sonny, who's undefeated as a professional, against Marcel Braithwaite from Liverpool, who gets his chance after recently winning the English title. Had a narrow win against Craig Derbyshire, but he managed to get home, and you get your chance as a result of this. It's going to be a big night for you, isn't it, Marcel?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a big night. I came into the year on a loss. I was depressed, and I got back on the horse. My trainer, Wayne Smith, was phoning me every day just to remind me what I'm capable of in the sport. So I got back on the horse, and then one fight was on Channel 5, and the English title fight came.
English title fight only about 8 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I'm fresh off that, and I'm feeling good. I'm not happy. So I won the English title, and I was waiting for the phone to ring about this, and it did, and now we're here.
Liverpool has an amazing fight history, if you like. It seems it's almost like going to Belfast. I mean, it's so big, the amateur sport within Liverpool, so many top clubs. Tell us about how you came to boxing.
I started boxing because when I was younger, I used to fight a lot. The reason being behind that is when I was very young, I done taekwondo at the age of 4. And the reason I done taekwondo, or at the time I done taekwondo, I had a little brother that passed away, and I didn't get to see him at the time, and it troubled me a lot as a kid. But I used to fight at the same time, and that was the only thing that made me happy. I realised all of this when I took a loss last year. Done some deep looking into psychology of why I actually do fight, and that was the reason being. It was the only thing that made me happy at a time when nothing else could. So from then I've always fought. That was my happy place. In school I was fighting. I'd go on the streets, I'd be fighting. And it's not like I didn't fight angry. It was just, I enjoyed it.
You fought happy?
Yeah, exactly. And it got me into a lot of trouble, and then my mum and dad pushed me into boxing. So got into Golden Gloves, and I fell in love with it. I was getting praised for the things I was getting punished for at first. So I fell in love with it.
Golden Glove, that's Toxteth, isn't it?
Yeah.
The club you're from, so you're a Toxteth lad?
Yeah.
Well, you've got to be a fighter to come out of Toxteth.
Telling you.
And just give us an idea, if you were to win this, I mean, you've got the English title, we'll hear from Sonny's thoughts in a minute, but if you were to win this, what would it mean to you to become a British champion?
It means everything to me at this point in my life. It means everything. It means a lot to me. Just some things are priceless. When I won the English title, seeing the look on my mum's face was priceless. So for me, it's not about ego or want this title or that title. It's simple things like I made my mum proud, very proud, and that was something that I cherished. And this, I can do it again. I can do it again on Saturday night. So that's my motivation then.
He's a bit of a talent. You fancy it?
He is, yeah. No, he's a great fighter. He's skillful, you know what I mean? But he'll bring out the best in him. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
Well, Sonny, you hear all that. You're obviously going into this as the favourite, but it's an emotional story, a fascinating backstory, and I'm sure you respect somebody who's looking to fulfil a dream as he clearly is.
Yeah, I mean, I want to firstly thank Marcel, his team, his manager Steve Wood, for being relatively easy to work with. I'm sure that they're happy with their deal, their side of things, so that's always good as well. At the end of the day, we're both two young lads at a weight which doesn't get much exposure, doesn't get much glamour, and we're sitting pretty fighting for the British title. Both getting a nice chunk of change to take into Christmas. So first I want to thank them, and then obviously my promoter Frank Warren, BT, and my management MTK for once again putting me on these platforms. 12 months ago is really when I sort of come onto the scene, or just a bit over that when I beat Farag, and then my first fight on BT was a couple, seven weeks after. And so I know all about, you know, taking the opportunity when it's there. So that I can understand and appreciate from Marcel, because if you really dissect the flyweights, super flyweights, there's not too many TV fighters. On the top of my head, I think you could say the three that are really about at the moment is Kal Yafai, who's a world champion, my brother, who's obviously a recent world champion, and then me, you know.
I think there's only about 13 super flyweights in the country.
Yeah, of course, and even great fighters like Jay Harris, Andrew Selby, they're fighting up on YouTube at the moment. So really for Marcel to get this opportunity and take it, relatively easy to make the fight as well, then I appreciate that. I mean, it's a fight I'm entirely confident on, but that's maybe not saying too much about Marcel, because I feel like I've come up here and said that and showed that in all the fights I've had in the professional ring. I believe in my ability and what I'm able to do in the ring, that at British level, because for me that this is like what this is at, like a true British level fight, I believe that I'm streets ahead of that. But until you show it, that's just all smoke and mirrors, you know what I mean? So this is really my opportunity to prove that. I know obviously Marcel has that one blip on his record against the tough Brett Fido.
Well, he blows hot and cold, doesn't he?
Yeah, well I think when he wants to turn up, he turns up, do you know what I mean? And obviously they spoke about there was things outside of the ring, which I completely understand. My family have been through some hard times, and I know how it can affect you. You know, going into the gym every day, sometimes the fight is the easiest part. It's that training when you're coming out of it and you've got so much, you know, at home. So, like, I respect that, so I'm not looking too much into that. People saying to me, oh, he can't punch, he ain't gonna stop no one. But if you look at his record, there's no one on there that he should have stopped. And if you look at my record, I've stopped the 4 fighters that I should have, and haven't stopped anyone that I shouldn't have. And then that's just the way it is.
So you're expecting a hard and maybe a long fight?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I ain't got pillows for hands, but I'm not the world's biggest puncher, so my game plan is never to get anyone out there early. It wouldn't make sense to gear up like that. And I know Marcel's tough, you know. The physical condition he comes in is a credit to his training, you know, and how serious he takes the sport. I mean, he could borrow me some abs, that'd be nice. But, do you know what I mean? I'm respecting him, and I know a lot of people, when I say the things like, I truly, in my heart, feel like there's no way of me losing this. It's not me being arrogant or overlooking him. It's my confidence, my belief in myself, which, you know, people can take one or two ways, but I do respect Marcel. I've been up and down the country sparring, you know, sparring Mohammed Wasim, sparring some great fighters, got in some good sparring, relative sparring as well. So I'm not taking him lightly. I prepared meticulously, and that British title was something I've wanted for ages, and on Saturday night, it should be coming home.
We will see. Vacant British super flyweight title is on the bill on Saturday night.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking the icon right here and hit the bell button so that every time we upload a new video, you get an alert so that you don't miss out.